The bear already knows you're there. Imagine you're hiking through a forest in Montana. The trail is quiet. The wind barely moves through the pine trees. You don't hear footsteps. You don't see movement. You feel completely alone. But you're not. Somewhere beyond those trees, perhaps hundreds of yards away, a bear may already know exactly where you are. It knows your scent. It knows your direction. It may even know where you're headed. And the strangest part, you have absolutely no idea it's there. For most people, a bear is simply a large, wild animal, powerful, dangerous, unpredictable. But that image barely scratches the surface. Because bears are far more than giant predators. They are intelligent navigators, master problem solvers, animals with memories that can last for years. Creatures that experience the world through an extraordinary sensory system that humans can barely imagine. Today, we're going to explore the hidden world of bears, a world where smells become maps, where memories become survival tools, where intelligence and instinct work together in remarkable ways. And by the end of this video, you may never think about bears the same way again. The forest looks very different to a bear than it does to us. Humans depend heavily on vision. We look around and interpret the world through what we see. Bears live in a completely different reality. For them, smell is everything. Imagine if every scent carried information. Not just the smell itself, but a complete story. Who passed through this area? How long ago they were here? Whether they were healthy? Whether they were dangerous? Whether they left food behind? That is the world of a bear. Scientists estimate that a bear's sense of smell may be several thousand times more sensitive than our own. Some experts believe it may be among the best senses of smell found in any land mammal. A bear can detect food from miles away. It can locate carcasses hidden beneath vegetation. It can identify other bears. And under the right conditions, it can detect humans from enormous distances. This means that many encounters between bears and people begin long before people realize anything is happening. The bear smells the human first, almost every time. It evaluates the situation, and then it makes a decision. Most often, that decision is simple: leave. This surprises many people, because bears are often portrayed as aggressive monsters. The reality is far less dramatic. Most bears spend much of their lives avoiding conflict. Conflict wastes energy. Conflict creates risk. And in nature, unnecessary risk can be fatal. A broken leg can mean starvation. A serious injury can mean death. Wild animals understand this in a way humans often forget. That's why countless people walk through bear habitat every year without ever seeing a bear. The bear already knew they were there. It simply chose not to be seen. But avoiding humans doesn't mean bears are weak. Far from it. A fully grown brown bear is one of the most powerful land animals in North America. Standing on its hind legs, it can appear almost unbelievably large. Its shoulders are packed with muscle. Its claws can dig through soil, break apart logs, and uncover food hidden beneath the ground. Its bite is immensely powerful. And despite all that size, a bear can move with shocking speed. Many people make a dangerous assumption. They think they could outrun a bear. They couldn't. A bear can sprint faster than most humans could ever hope to run. In a short-distance race, the outcome is not even close. This is why wildlife experts strongly advise against running during a bear encounter. Running may trigger a chase response, and once a bear decides to pursue, human speed becomes irrelevant. Yet what truly separates bears from many other large animals isn't their strength, it's their intelligence. Researchers have repeatedly observed behavior that suggests advanced learning abilities. Bears remember, they learn, they adapt. And perhaps most impressively, they use experience. Imagine a berry patch hidden deep within a forest. The berries become ripe for only a short period each year. A bear discovers it. Months pass, winter arrives. The landscape changes completely. Snow covers the ground, seasons come and go. Yet the following year, the same bear returns to the exact location. Not by accident, not by luck, by memory. Now imagine hundreds of locations spread across a territory that may cover hundreds of square miles. Food sources, water sources, travel routes, safe areas, dangerous areas. A bear remembers them all. Scientists studying bear behavior have documented remarkable examples of long-term memory. Bears often revisit productive feeding areas year after year. Some travel routes remain consistent across many seasons. Knowledge accumulates over time. Every successful experience becomes valuable information. In many ways, bears behave less like simple predators and more like wilderness strategists. Each day involves decisions. Where should I go? Where is food likely to be found? Where are other bears? Where are humans? What risks should be avoided? These decisions require constant information gathering, and bears excel at gathering information. One reason for this is curiosity. Anyone who studies bears quickly notices how curious they are. They investigate unusual objects. They explore new environments. They test possibilities. This curiosity helps them survive. It also helps explain why bears are capable of adapting to such different environments around the world. Today, there are 8 living species of bears. Each has evolved to thrive under different conditions. The American black bear, the brown bear, the polar bear, the giant panda, the spectacled bear, the sun bear, the sloth bear, and the Asian black bear. At first glance, these species appear very different. Yet they share common traits: strong intelligence, excellent memory, curiosity, adaptability, and an extraordinary ability to learn. Among all bear species, perhaps none captures the imagination more than the polar bear. Life in the Arctic is brutally difficult. Temperatures plunge far below freezing. Storms can last for days. Food is often scarce. Yet polar bears have evolved into masters of this frozen world. Their thick layers of fat provide insulation. Their fur traps heat. Their massive paws distribute weight across snow and ice. They are among the largest land predators on Earth. But even these Arctic giants face challenges. Polar bears depend heavily on sea ice. The ice acts as a platform for hunting seals. Without it, survival becomes more difficult. This connection between polar bears and sea ice has made them one of the most recognizable symbols of environmental change in the modern world. Yet despite their differences, all bears face the same basic challenge: survival through changing seasons. For many bears, autumn is a race against time. As winter approaches, food becomes the highest priority. Bears enter a period called hyperphagia. During this phase, they eat almost constantly. Their goal is simple: store enough energy to survive winter. A bear may consume enormous amounts of food every day: berries, nuts, roots, fish, insects, anything that provides calories. Contrary to popular belief, bears are not purely meat eaters. Most species are omnivores. Their diets are surprisingly diverse. And this flexibility helps explain their success across so many habitats. Eventually, winter arrives. Food becomes scarce. Temperatures drop. And many bears retreat into dens. What follows is one of nature's most extraordinary biological achievements: the winter denning period. For months, a bear may survive without eating, drinking, urinating, or defecating. Its heart rate slows. Its metabolism changes dramatically. Yet, unlike many animals, it retains much of its muscle and bone mass. Scientists have studied this process for decades. Understanding how bears accomplish it may eventually help medical research in areas ranging from muscle preservation to osteoporosis treatment. Even more remarkable is what sometimes happens inside the den. New life begins. Female bears often give birth during winter. Tiny cubs enter the world while snow covers the landscape outside. Blind, helpless, completely dependent on their mother. The den becomes a nursery, a shelter, a place of protection. And when spring finally arrives, the cubs emerge into a world they must learn to navigate. Their education begins immediately. Mother bears teach survival through experience. Where to find food, how to recognize danger, how to move through the landscape. Every lesson matters. Every mistake carries consequences. This powerful maternal bond also explains why female bears with cubs can be especially protective. From her perspective, defending her offspring is defending the future. As cubs grow, they begin learning one of the most important lessons in a bear's life: how to remain wild. Because wild bears survive best when they maintain distance from humans. Unfortunately, people sometimes interfere with that process. A single careless action can have lasting consequences. Leaving food accessible, feeding wildlife, allowing bears to associate humans with easy meals. These behaviors teach dangerous lessons. Bears learn quickly. If food repeatedly comes from human sources, bears remember. They return. Again and again. Eventually, conflicts become more likely. This is why wildlife experts repeat a simple rule: a fed bear is often a dead bear. Not because feeding immediately harms the animal, but because it changes behavior, and behavior determines survival. Perhaps the greatest misconception about bears is that they are either villains or oversized teddy bears. Neither image is accurate. Bears are complex. They play, they learn, they communicate, they solve problems, they make decisions, they adapt. In many ways, they are among the most intelligent wild neighbors humans have. And they perform another role that often goes unnoticed. They help maintain healthy ecosystems. When bears eat fruit, they disperse seeds. When they move nutrients across landscapes, they influence plant growth. When they interact with rivers, forests, and meadows, they help connect entire ecosystems. In places where salmon runs occur, bears transport nutrients from rivers into forests. Those nutrients eventually support plants, insects, birds, and countless other organisms. The effects ripple outward through the environment. Remove bears, and entire ecological relationships begin to change. This is why many scientists consider bears indicator species. Their presence often signals a healthy environment, a landscape capable of supporting one of nature's most demanding animals. For thousands of years, humans have recognized something special about bears. They appear in myths, legends, flags, coats of arms, stories told around campfires, and even children's toys. Yet perhaps our fascination comes from something deeper. When we look at a bear, we see strength, intelligence, independence. A creature capable of surviving in places where humans struggle. A creature that experiences the world differently than we do. And perhaps that's why bears continue to capture our imagination. Because somewhere between fear and admiration lies respect. The respect earned by an animal that has survived ice ages, adapted to changing worlds, and mastered environments across the planet. The next time you enter a forest, remember this. You may think you're exploring the wilderness. You may believe you're the observer. You may feel completely alone. But the forest contains other observers too. Observers with extraordinary noses, remarkable memories, and generations of knowledge. And if one of them is nearby, there's a good chance it already knows exactly where you are, long before you ever know it's there. The bear already knows.